our host, Butch Nicholson. And this is a podcast that's no fluff. It's just experienced professionals uh, telling us how they got to where they are, how they did it, and very practical. And if you're looking for the magic pill, you're not going to find it here. But if you're looking for things that have worked, it worked for a long time for old pros. This is where you need to be. Uh, so I want to introduce my friend Jeff Evans. I'm going to tell a quick story. I met Jeff probably a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
and he was at an event I was at, and he was running around taking pictures and doing videos. And I thought, good luck, pal. And now I do 2 videos a week. I do this live show, and I use shorts for my videos all the time. So it's he proved me wrong. So Jeff, just take a minute and tell us how you got to where you are now.
Sure. So Jeff Evans, J. Vincent Creative. Been with my own agency for about 18 years. Started off in web development and SEO because I was a terrible salesman, absolutely terrible. I used to try to, go into these high rises in Buckhead and sell office products, and absolutely just terrible job, and getting chased out of buildings by security and all that. So I had to find a different way to be able to make a living, but also to help small business owners, which is always my passion and my love. And so that's where I found marketing and just kind of, just dove headfirst into it. Worked my way through the agency world until I kind of hit a ceiling and decided to step out on my own. And, that's kind of the whole gist of it. Now, within the last, I'd say about 2 years, almost 3 years, I really started to see that even small local businesses needed video. And my whole starting point was video podcasting. So I started with these people right here, Bettis Musgrove, the offices that we're in, this beautiful studio. And we built a show that, I'm really proud of, that gets thousands of views every week. And the boys are really happy with the product and everything else like that. So we started with that. And then I kind of moved into, actual teleprompter based education content for my clients, and then building out YouTube channels because, especially with AI, and we'll get into it more, the best way to get people to trust you is to actually have you on camera.
Right, well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So I've been in sales. I don't like to say how long because people know how old I am, but I've been in sales for decades.
You look about 20, dude. So relax.
And when I started, the first thing I heard was no like and trust, and I still hear no like and trust, no like and trust. But back in the day, no like and or how you got people to trust you is across the table, handshakes, all face to face. But in the environment we're in now, and I believe I heard you say this first, is video allows us to build trust before we even meet somebody.
Correct.
So speak to that for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the things that I have found video really helps with is networking, and it's building those referrals. Because when you get a referral from a somebody that you do business with, or a family friend or whatever, that person is going to do one thing, and that is they're going to Google you. And if they don't like what they find, they may never actually contact you. So it's called the dark funnel. And what that is, it's that period of time before, or that's the period in between when a referral is given and they actually make the call or they send the email or what have you. And you have that opportunity within there to build that trust and credibility, all with video. But you have to take that opportunity to do so. Otherwise, you could inevitably lose that referral completely. And they call you and they don't remember why, and they start asking about cost. And as soon as you get people to ask you about cost in the very first 5 minutes of a phone call, you've lost them for a good portion of time.
So from that, one of the things I know from the business that I'm in is, especially I would say, baby boomers, Gen Jonesers. Bottom line, they're really scared to do video and put themselves out there. How do you deal with that?
It goes back to riding a bike. You have to You have to get up there and you have to start doing it until you feel more comfortable with it. I hate doing video. Like I really do. I really do. And I do it for myself and I do it for my clients, but and you have to push past that fear, just like so many other things in life, right? You really do. There's a lot of guys that will say, well, if you don't want to do video, then do an audio podcast or do a newsletter or do a do a blog. And I say I call BS on that. I think you have to be on camera. You have to get good at it. We all had to learn how to ride a bike. We all had to learn how to drive a car. So you have to learn how to be on video. And that's just the number one thing I say. Now, there are ways to get better on it, right? So we have this handy dandy device called a cell phone, right? Right. So you can actually do selfie videos of yourself, never send them anywhere, and watch them back until you feel more confident with how you spoke. That's one of the things that I did, and it's definitely something I tell all of my clients or potential clients is as much time as you can, set up your cell phone, talk to it, look at yourself, get over that uncomfortableness of I don't like the way I look or I don't like the way I talk and blah blah blah. Just get over that and start doing it over and over because it's just repetition. It just takes time.
That it's interesting that you said that because that's what I did,
Mm,
and I I figured that out. Just I don't know how,
yeah,
but uh, I probably did 100 videos of myself before I ever put them out there,
yeah,
and I found two things. One, uh, you get much more comfortable doing it, and two, I don't care how good your newsletter is. I don't care how good your blog is. I don't care how good your direct message is. The best way for someone to see you as an authentic person is video.
I 100% agree. And the number one way, of course, is through a video podcast because it's not a it's natural. It's a natural conversation, right? It's like you and I are having coffee and we're having a conversation, and then there's people all around just staring at us, watching us have this conversation, right? That's kind of the vibe that you get when you do that. Now, with that being said, I still think that education-based content, value-based content, using a teleprompter so you get all of that information out there and that it's professionally done is still a incredibly valuable way to still build that trust and credibility as well.
So, how do you explain to your clients, customers? What do you call them? Customers,
Clients.
clients.
Yeah.
Uh, how do you? I'm going to say convince them that they need to put themselves out there before any call.
Mhm. So I don't convince them right off the get. A lot of times they watch my videos and they get convinced through the content that I'm doing for myself, right? So it's the hair club for men, right? I'm also a client, and so it's to me it's about being very strategic about the short videos that you create, the long form videos you create. Who are you creating them from? Who is your ICP, and what are you trying to teach them, right? So if first of all, I can't sell the unsellable.
Sure.
I'm not going to do that. I don't bother with that kind of garbage. What's the point? If you don't get it by watching my videos or having a 10-minute conversation with me, then it's not right for you at this time, and maybe we'll do it later on. But for those that understand it, what they a lot of times they come to me because they think I do social media. Well, social media is kind of it's a distribution channel for the content itself, right? So what we really do is we generate value based content so that you can get to know, like, and trust faster, right? And it's all about that. It's all about that. So when you take the time to educate beforehand, even those people are like, yeah, I get it. Let's have a conversation. And that's what it gets into. They're already warm. So now we're talking about it's more of a consultation at that point and less of a sale. And that's the whole point. I hate selling. I still hate selling. So what are the ways that I can help move the sale along without having to do like all these other tricks and things that I just don't agree with. Morally, I don't like a lot of sales techniques. And so, video helps us get around a lot of that.
Uh, so, Jeff, I know you found, and you don't have to say what it is, or you
Mm.
can if you want, but I know you found a great niche in a particular industry.
Yes.
And tell me how that evolved and how that happened.
Yeah, so I have two that I'm really into, right? So obviously attorneys, because attorneys are, a group of people that need to be trusted, right? I mean, obviously, especially criminal or family law, which is, divorce attorneys, things like that. These people need to be trusted. And the best way to do that, of course, is through video. They need to be able to hear you and see you speak, and have you calm them down when they're searching for things at 11 o'clock at night and they're terrified. Maybe their loved one just got arrested and they don't know what to do, so on and so forth, right? So those are great. And also financial advisors, again, people that you're trusting with a lot of your money. So again, trust and credibility. How do you build that? You have to be on camera teaching people what to do, how to do it. Of course, staying within compliance, because compliance is a huge thing.
Yeah.
So
Especially with the financial advisors.
it is, and we've built safeguards within all of the ways that we build our scripts and our content that go through FINRA, they go through SEC guidelines, and then we hand that off to our financial advisors, who then give that to their chief compliance officer, so that we make sure that everything is passed. I've never had an issue with all the clients that I've worked with. Everything that we've ever done has passed compliance, which has been great.
That's amazing, really.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: I had a client, and he insisted that his head of sales be on the videos, not him, because he just was like, I ain't doing that. I don't care what you say. I'm not doing that. And we did okay with the sales guy, but I believe that people want to see the leader. If you're the owner, you're the CEO. Those titles are who people want to see. And you ever run into that issue with financial advisors or lawyers? Or
No.
I mean, I know those guys love to talk.
Yes, they do, and attorneys, are really good at it, especially ones that have to go to trial. So a lot of times they don't necessarily mind it. They're nervous at first, but again, it's more like it's more at bats. The more you do video, the easier it gets.
Sure.
And it's the same thing with financial advisors. The more they do, the better it gets. But I will speak on that. So whether it's called personal branding, or if they're more mid-market, higher level, we'll call it more like executive branding. Again, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And you can't hide behind the logo forever. You can't. I see that there are more. So, for instance, Walmart, the CEO of Walmart has his own video podcast, and it's mostly internal for people within Walmart, but you can still watch it as a general public. And I found it fascinating, and he loved it so much that he's now making all of his district managers around, specifically the Southeast, build their own shows.
Oh, cool.
And why? Because you can't go everywhere and talk to everyone all of the time, right? So, like this right here, this gives us an opportunity to speak with each other and have a ton of other people watch that content. Whereas if we were trying to do this in a room full of people, it would just be so much more of a headache and so much harder to do that, right? So it's the same thing with Walmart or any of these things. It's you're given an opportunity to speak to the employees, and give them a no fluff answer to whatever it is that they're talking about at that point. So it's great for HR. It's great for internal comms, internal communications. But again, it's also just great for your brand. And everybody is a brand, no matter what anyone thinks. You are a brand. And now, what that actually means is up for interpretation by a lot of different people. And I'm not going to, pretend to be an expert on that. But I will tell you that it's mandatory now. And with AI, everyone's using AI to create content, to create blog posts, to write your page content, anything and everything. And I certainly use it as well. But again, because of that, people have a higher threshold of that's garbage, or that's AI slop, right? That's the term, AI slop. By the way, you know who came up with the term AI slop? AI did. They did. So, using the word gap, using the word moat, those are AI words. Don't ever use those. Just no more M dashes. Sorry, they were good. No more M dashes. We can't use those. But I digress. So, again, it's everybody's a brand. You need to be on video, no matter what you think, no matter how bad you think you are on video. You have to be on it. Now, with that being said, it's better to have somebody you trust in your company on video than no video at all, at least to get started with.
Sure.
So the sales guy, great. But again, who's the best salesperson in any company? The owner. They're always the best. Why? Because it's their company.
Yeah. So I run in all the time. I'll be talking to a CEO or a founder, and he'll say, "Well, what do I say?"
Mhm.
And what I found the easiest for them uh, and the best thing for them is to share something that happened. And really, what I find is people are more interested in how you handled a failure than some great sale you made.
Of course, because everyone wants to feel good about themselves, and we're always inundated with, well, this person made $10 million in 2 weeks. Yeah, okay, whatever. Like I mean, like that kind of garbage, right? So everyone always wants to put their best foot forward, especially online, especially on the internet, especially on LinkedIn, which I'm sorry, it's one of the most cringe platforms out there, but we all still have to use it. So again, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like it. You have to do that. Yeah.
And I heard somebody a while back, I can't remember all of them, but they said, nobody cares that you had a great trade show.
Mhm.
Nobody cares about a marketing brochure. What they do care about, one is encouragement. Uh, Two is ask them a question. Uh, three is sharing a story.
Yeah.
And I do believe, and I know in my case, uh, the first ones I did were just, I look back, they were just awful.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I think I do it pretty good now.
Yeah.
But I've done probably 200.
Wow. Yeah.
So, you get better when you do it.
You do. You can get better. And when it comes down to like what do people want to film, the most strategic way of doing it I've found is you have to look at who your ideal client profile is, right? Your
Sure.
ICP, whatever you want to call it. And you have to say, like, okay, well, what goes through their brain to get them on a pathway to wanting to work with myself or one of my competitors, right? And so they have a problem, they finally have awareness. It's the whole funnel, right? So, and then you have to look at content based on a funnel. So you have to look at people that they they have questions, but they don't want to ask people. So what do? They Google those questions. So it's my job to go research Reddit, YouTube, Google, all of these other resources out there to find the questions that people are actually searching late at night. And once we know what those questions are, then we can build funnels based on those questions. Because again, people are asking very different questions at 2 a.m. than they are when they're just talking with you and I, right? It's a very different thing. People's search history is ungodly weird, obviously. So you definitely want to make sure that
Probably don't want to know that.
no, well, not for a lot of people, that's for sure. But again, it's about building off of that. So you go, okay, well, these people have this question, so we're going to have content, a 10-minute video, a 15-minute video based on that question. So we're answering that question, and then okay, well, now that question's been answered, but now they need some education based on the different options they have available. Oh, well, let's do some education based content based on that, right? And then it's okay, well, now they know they have an issue. Now they know they've been educated on what the solutions are. Now they need to know who to hire, right? And so then that's where you go into pricing content, which is one of my favorites. And I actually learned it from that book right there. It's called Endless Customers. Great book. And the author talks about, you know, most people won't tell you pricing because they want you to call and deal with all that stuff. They think that they're going to scare you away, and that's kind of true. So what you do is you do pricing ranges, and so for attorneys, especially let's take family law attorneys. Well, their ranges are from 150 an hour to 500 an hour, or something like that. And then you talk about what is typically included in that type of of pricing, right? And what you're doing is you're giving them more information than they've gotten from anyone else. You're still not giving away the whole farm, but again, now they're building that trust and that credibility even more so. So you've run them through a funnel to the point where now they feel like they've gotten clarity. They know exactly what their problem is. They know exactly who they want to hire, and then they call you, and it's no longer a sale. It's a easy consultation into getting them, into your actual service line.
Jeff, I'm going to just tell a quick story
Yeah.
because you know the person, but uh, our friend Mark McKenzie invited me to an event, and the tables were for four. And Mark and I sat down. There were two empty seats there, and these two guys walked up and said, "Can we sit here?" And we said, "Sure." And Mark stood up and said, "Hey, I'm Mark McKenzie," and one of the guys looked at me and pointed at me, and he said, "I know you. I watch your show every week."
Yeah, I love it.
Now he had never commented, never liked, never nothing, but he watched my show every week. And I think one thing people need to understand is uh, how many people there are like that out there. People are watching even if they don't interact.
That's true. Look, it's a longer play, right? So creating great video content, video marketing, all that. It's a long term thing. But what you're doing is you're building an asset. You're not. It's not social media content. Yes, we're using shorts and putting all that out there. But when you're building an actual YouTube channel full of long form videos, those videos get views months and years after the fact, and over and
Yeah.
over again. So you're literally building an asset. A website can be changed. A website can be all AI. A YouTube channel full of education based content is not AI. I mean, that's just simple. Yes, we might use some AI to help create thumbnails and some other things, but people actually talking, that's not AI. Not, it's just not. And until they've gotten really close. There's a lot of AI influencers out there now, but you can still tell. It's by the tone of their voice. Look at their lips. Is it too perfect of a video? There's things that you can see.
Some of the short videos I do that work the best, I just take my phone and walk.
Yep, yep, yep. Because it's called yapping, which is really funny, but it's literally a marketing strategy now that people are actually pushing, and some people are trying to sell you their course on yapping, which I think is
haven't heard of
hilarious.
that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's a newer thing that I'm seeing all over the place, which I think is hilarious. It's just self talk. It's just selfie videos of yourself just chatting, but it's content that people want to see because, especially on YouTube, everything's gotten really overproduced to where, and shorts were really overproduced a year or 2 years ago, where every like literally 2 seconds there was some other kind of graphic and motion thing and this and that. And the other. It just got too much. People were tired of seeing all that. They want more authenticity.
See, I just believe authenticity is the key.
Mhm.
People want to know who you really are.
Mhm.
They want to know who you really are more than they care about what you're selling, what you're marketing, what you're doing.
Yeah.
And the only way, the only way to really let somebody see your authenticity is let them see your face.
It's true. It's true. No matter how you think you look, it is. I mean, look, before I started doing video, I was in BNI networking groups and I was out meeting people and chatting and doing workshops and all this stuff. So it's not like, I was sitting in a dark room the whole time without anyone ever seeing my face or hearing me speak. So you just have to get over that fear of being on video and just do it. Whether you use me or you or anyone else, just get out your phone and just start doing it.
Well, my next question
Mm.
I think you just answered my next question.
Uh,
And my next question was, if somebody's not doing video, uh, what would you tell them?
what would I tell them? Well, first of all, what I would tell them is find your why. So why? Why why would you or why wouldn't you? And then start there. So you really have to start working on it. Now, if you're a multi-million dollar company and you've built out all these different channels and you have all this great stuff going on, then maybe video isn't your prime thing. And I understand that. But again, sooner or later, you're going to get left in the dust. Just is what it is. Um, People that build their businesses off of referrals they're always being told these days, you got to change that. You have to do this, you have to do that because sooner or later. And that it hasn't happened yet. You can still build your business strictly on referrals. But if you really want to accelerate that, video is 100% the reason or the why to do that. Now, once you start, I mean, just take out your phone and just start yapping, literally, like we were just talking about. Just start yapping. And then once you get comfortable with that, start researching what it is that you want to do. I mean, if you're a restaurant, you don't need to hire me. You need to start at literally taking video of these beautiful dishes that your restaurant is taking, do video walkthroughs, interview your staff, interview some customers. There is nothing better, and you know this, Butch, than a client testimonial video. It outperforms any educational
Sure.
based content, hands down. Get out there and do that. If you're B2B, I would look at a YouTube channel. I'd look at actually building out some real good education content.
It's funny too how you get engagement on video. I know you and I both enjoy a good
Yeah.
cigar
Oh yeah.
every now and then. I did a video, I don't know, several weeks ago, maybe several months ago, where I just walked through the humidor and talked,
Hmm.
and it got great engagement. Most of it about cigars,
Of course.
but they'll remember me because they're going to remember the cigars.
That's number one. Number two, people that would hire you like cigars. It makes sense. Go do it on the golf course. Again, it's the same thing, right? People, if you show things that people actually like, that are your part of your ICP, it's going to work. Gary Vee talks about the Jets a lot, which I hate because I'm from Buffalo, so we're Bills fans. But anybody that's a Jets fan loves Gary Vee. I mean, and loves anything that he has to say about that. Why? Because people like people that are like them.
Sure.
Again, no like and trust is a real thing for a reason, and it hasn't changed at all. No like and trust, I don't think will ever change. It's just, how do we get that? No like and
How do you
trust.
get it right?
Yeah.
Well, so as we wrap up here, Jeff,
Yeah.
what would Jeff today tell Jeff 10 years ago?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. I love that. First and foremost, stop being fearful. So the thing that stopped me the most from growing my agency back in the day was fear. Whether that was fear of being told no, fear of people making fun of me on camera, whatever it is. Fear will crush you, right? So I would say remove the fear and get out there and meet as many people as humanly possible, and be confident in the abilities that you have. Because when I started out a long time ago, I was very young, going to networking groups with people that were a lot older than me, and I was very intimidated. And it took a long time for me to get over all of that. Now, I mean, I'll call you on your BS. If you sass me, I'll sass you right back. That's the way that I look at it.
Well, I appreciate it because fear is paralyzing.
It is. It is. And there's so much fear in the world based on whatever else is out there. I'd say shut off the news, shut off social media, except for putting out your own content,
Except for yours.
except for us doing this, right? And get out there and create. Stop being somebody on the sidelines. Get out there, play the game. Once you start creating content, it's amazing the people that come out of the woodwork. If I could tell a real brief story, I have a client, he's a financial advisor. We've been putting out great content for 4 or 5 months, and he got a call from a old college friend that he hasn't spoken to since college. The guy says, "I love your content. I've been watching all of it. I've got this amount of money, and my wife's got this, and we've got this and this and this. I want to talk to you about taking over our stuff." And I was like, "Wow, so there it is. It's amazing, right?" And yeah, you could be like, "Okay, well, yeah, he knew him in college." That was a long time ago. That was like 20 years ago. Okay, so just by keeping somebody on your Facebook page and all of a sudden putting out all this great content, now people are like, starting to trust him more and want him to take over their stuff. So it does work. Just takes time, and stick with it.
Well, Jeff, I appreciate you being on the show today.
Yeah.
There's some great insights that you have. If people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
Sure. So go to my website, which is jvincentcreative.com. Or you can email me at jeff@jvincentcreative.com.
Great. So one, I want to thank the Aardvark Group for sponsoring the podcast today. If you want to get in touch with me, a direct message on LinkedIn is probably the easiest way, or you can reach out to me at Butch at the Aardvark Group at Gmail. So one of the things that I want to say is this: if you want to get in touch with me, and I'm sure Jeff is the same way because I know him. If I can help you, I would love to help you, and the same with Jeff. And if I can't help you, I'll tell you. And there's a good chance I know somebody who can, and I'll be happy to make that introduction. So again, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate you being on the show.
Absolutely.
And just remember this: the best way to be trusted is video before you even call. And we do it differently, but you can reach out to any one of us and we'll be happy to show you how that works. Thanks for being here, and we'll be back next Friday at 10 o'clock.